Hello, speech classmates and YouTube people. Do you by chance have a fear of flying? Or being stuck behind an 18-wheeler hauling massive logs going a little faster than the speed limit? Well, I'm Jaden Mertz, and I've been thinking that with this new movie that has been released and being Friday the 13th, it only seems fit to talk about Final Destination, mostly the logical aspect and how likely the film isn't as fictional as it makes itself out to be. Most of what happens in the movies is not too far from everyday accidents, but how death works in something completely unrealistic. Without spoiling too much, let's dive headfirst into this video. First off, for a few of you who may not know how the stories usually play out, they follow a group of teens that escape an accident that was supposed to kill them, thinking they cheated death and go off thinking they were lucky to have survived, though they couldn't be any more wrong as they were probably better off dying in the first place. Each character then meets their fates in the order that they would have died had they done so before, only in more extravagant and bizarre ways. These deaths range from reasonable to straight Ruby Goldberg machines with how someone can easily get killed by getting hit by a bus, to someone being killed by burning their dinner, then jumping out of a fire escape, slipping on spaghetti, and falling on broken glass. And that all happens in 30 seconds. And that is not even the craziest one in the whole entire franchise. I could talk forever about these movies, but I only have about 6 minutes to record this video. So now, how accurate are these deaths to real life incidents? Most of what happens in these movies were based on real life occurrences, such as plane crashes and the log truck accident. But some are more likely to happen to us than these, like how the latter scene may have seemed like a complete coincidence, but there are recorded 300 ladder related deaths from them yearly. Or how you may think the lawnmower scene in the newest movie was far fetched, but they still have about 75 to 90 deaths and cause over 200,000 injuries per year. It may not sound like that many, but people still have lost their lives in real life to not safely handling these equipments. They pose a dangerous threat to me and you in real life. But now on to the more fictional side of the movies, as there's plenty of fake stuff too. They usually avoid being killed by the final girl being someone who has had a vision of the accident before it happens, and a final girl is usually the only victim to survive the film and makes it to the sequel, usually a female character too. And then the characters go off to be killed in the order that they would have in the original way they would have died on the original accident. And death is personified in the movies to be more alive than naturally occurring, with how it will prevent anything from breaking the order of how these people will die, either continuing the cycling and looping back to those who should have died, or working its way backwards and fixing itself once the characters have all been killed off. Some even try to take themselves out in hopes they can break the cycle and skip their friends in exchange for themselves, only to fail in their attempts and live until death decides it is their time. Death can even move physical objects when we can see it pull a shower curtain, loosen bolts, jam a gun, and even change the direction of water. You can argue that maybe they were all coincidences and they could all have been avoided by following safety standards. But when there is a scene of death, changing a sign to say you have no control and changing the radio station to a song that sings, "Someone is walking behind you, watching your footsteps," as a way to tell them that death is not far and right behind you, then I beg to differ. Better yet, there are scenes where death is physically seen showing up, that being in the reflection of a tea kettle that you can see a dark shadow passing over, and in Kimberly's bedroom passing over her walls through the shadows of the trees to look like skeleton hands reaching out for her. If that is not evidence enough, I don't know what will convince you to take the movies lightly and that they are not real. The possibility of cheating death is high, as I am sure most of us has been in an accident that could have been fatal, and we will all eventually have a time that death will catch up with us, just probably not like it's shown in the movies. The real lesson in the final destination movies is always follow OSHA guidelines. They are only tough on us because they love us. Be safe, have a good rest of your day, and thank you for watching.